What's up guys, my name is Ace, and with the Season 2 update for Modern Warfare 2, there was a change to the perk charge rates, and while the exact percentages were listed in the patch notes, and that's why I haven't covered it up until today, I have had a fair number of questions about exactly what the charge times are now, and whether or not this change was enough. So that's what we're going to be covering in today's video, and let's just dive right into it, and we're going to start it off with the bonus perk, or the Tier 2 perk. Pre-patch, the base charge time was 3 minutes 30 seconds. However, for every 10 score that you earn, that will cut 1 second off of the charge rate. So in Team Deathmatch, for instance, 1 kill will give you 125 score, so getting a kill will cut off 12.5 seconds from your charge time. When it comes to post-patch for this bonus perk, that 3 minute 30 second charge time has now been cut down to 1 minute 46 seconds. So it's essentially just cut right in half here, which was listed in the patch notes. It was a 50% reduction to the charge time. And it is worth noting, it is still going to take you 10 score to cut off 1 second. So there was no change to the score earn rate at all, just that base charge time. And that's where we're at with the bonus perk. This is quite a noticeable adjustment there. Now let's have a look at the ultimate perk, or the Tier 3 perk, and with this, pre-patch, the base charge time was 7 minutes, and it was the same score reduction, 10 score takes off 1 second, whereas post-patch, that's now been cut down by 25%, down to 5 minutes 16 seconds for our base charge time, and once again, you cut a second off for every 10 score that you earn. So it turns out the patch notes were perfectly accurate here. They did exactly what those patch notes stated, although I do understand some confusion still because they didn't mention anything about the score earn rates. However, it turns out those just didn't change at all. Now, it is great to understand exactly what these charge times are and how they work, but for many people, you have a hard time translating this into what it means for the actual gameplay and when you'll be earning these perks in practical terms. So in this next section, I wanted to share when I typically will earn these perks pre-patch versus post-patch. Keeping in mind though, this will vary depending on how much score you earn. So if you earn score at a slower rate, you will earn these perks at a slower rate. Or if you earn score at a higher rate, you will earn these faster than what I'm laying out. But what I did here is I just went through a bunch of my gameplays pre-patch and post-patch in Kill Confirmed, because that's my preferred game mode. And I wanted to share roughly when I was getting these perks pre-patch versus post-patch. When it comes to my bonus perks, pre-patch, I would generally earn this roughly 1.5 minutes into the match. Whereas post-patch, I'm getting my bonus perk consistently at about 45 seconds, and it never takes me more than a minute into the match to unlock my bonus perk. So that right there is a very noticeable reduction. I don't even really see a point in having a charge time at that point. But then when it comes to the ultimate perk, pre-patch it would take me roughly 2.5 to 3 minutes to earn my ultimate perk, depending on how well I was playing toward the beginning of the game. Whereas post-patch, pretty consistently, I was earning it right around the 2-minute mark, give or take a few seconds here or there. So it's not as huge of a reduction as the bonus perk, obviously, but it is a very noticeable reduction to the amount of time it takes to unlock that ultimate perk. And overall, when it comes to my thoughts on these changes and whether or not this was enough, personally, I felt like the perk system has been slightly less annoying since Season 2 launched, and it is nice not having to wait quite as long to unlock the perks and fully unlock the playstyle that I'm going for in a match. And I especially noticed this with the bonus perk. I typically use the fast hands perk, and I can't count the number of times I got really frustrated thinking that I could throw a drill charge in time, for instance, or get a reload in time, because I was just playing a match with the exact same class setup, and I got used to how long it took to throw that, or how long it took to reload my gun with fast hands. So obviously it can just be really frustrating at the beginning of the match, having a class setup that you were just using in the previous match feel totally different at the beginning of this new match. So overall, I like the fact that they reduced this, and I feel like the more they reduce this charge time, the better and more consistent the game is going to feel, and the more I'm going to enjoy the perk system. So at least in my eyes, the more they reduce the charge time with the perks, the better and the less frustrating the perk system feels, and therefore if you take it to the logical conclusion, the game is best off without the perk charge times, in my opinion at least. I still feel like this new system that they tried was completely pointless. It added nothing meaningful to the game while taking a lot of the consistency out of the game. And another big thing that I hate about what they've done with this perk system is it prevents them from adding specialists, which is a key part of Infinity Ward Call of Duty games that I absolutely love and always look forward to with Infinity Ward CODs. As long as they have a charge time, I don't see how they're realistically going to be able to add a specialist system, and I personally find that to be really disappointing. So do I like the fact that they adjusted these perk times? Absolutely. I do think that's a step in the right direction. It's nice not having to wait more than a minute to get my fast hands perk, for instance, and it's nice getting my ultimate perk a little bit earlier as well. But I think this is more a case of, instead of me being really happy that they're making improvements, it's more so that I'm just slightly less annoyed by the decision that they made. And it's just a small step in the direction of where I feel we should be when it comes to a perk system. So to answer the question, was it enough for me and my preferences? No, I feel like until they completely eliminate charge times, it's not going to be enough. And on top of that, I'm still not particularly happy with the structure of the perk system as well, like the different tiers. I don't feel like there's a proper rock, paper, scissors approach when it comes to the playstyle variety offered with the perks. And I also feel like there's a lack of true specialization when it comes to the various perk combinations that we have access to in the game. And that's just based on how they've spread out the different tiers of perks. I still don't feel as though there are different routes where I can really specialize in one particular area to stand out in that area while sacrificing power in other areas that other people may be specializing in. That's one of the key features I love about Call of Duty perk systems is I may go one route with my perks that make me really good with one particular playstyle, and somebody might go a completely different route that makes them really good at a different playstyle that directly opposes my playstyle. And that makes for a lot more interesting gameplay dynamics, and I just don't feel like we're really seeing that here. And this is where I also wanted to answer a question that a lot of people have been asking, and this is, with all the updates we've been getting lately since the Season 2 update, have they finally fixed the interaction between the Ghost perk and suppressors? And it turns out, unfortunately, no. It still works exactly the same as before, where if you have the Ghost perk active and you're firing a suppressed gun, it will disable your Ghost perk and it won't reactivate again until you've gone for more than 3 seconds without firing your gun. And that exposes you to enemy UAV sweeps, which effectively nullifies the Ghost perk that you've got selected. So there we go, they've definitely sped up these charge times by a noticeable amount, and I would say it is a step in the right direction, but overall I still feel like this perk system is fundamentally flawed, and I personally don't think this game will ever reach its full potential without a full-on perk overhaul. I still feel like this is one of the biggest things that's holding this game back. And it's too bad because I feel like this game would play so much better even if they just literally copied and pasted the perk system from Modern Warfare 2019, or honestly just about any other Call of Duty game. I'd be happier with that than what we're seeing right now. Now, of course, these are just my thoughts and opinions on this change that they made, and this is where I'm curious to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What do you think about this reduction to the perk charge times with the Season 2 update? Did you think this was a step in the right direction, or did you prefer how it was pre-patch with the slower charge rates? And also, what are your overall thoughts on this perk system after this reduction to the charge time? Do you think they should reduce it even more? Should they eliminate the charge time completely? Should they restructure the perks? Or are you generally just happy with where things are at right now? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.